Good afternoon. I am Colonel Billy Wilson, the commander of basic military training. I'm glad we had this opportunity to have a discussion. So, why are you here? I will tell you that you are here to train both your body and your mind.
Be better. Every day, be better.
You are here to train your body and your mind. Not one or the other, both. I often ask new recruits, why the Air Force? And I often get, well, I want to be part of an institution. I want to be part of something that is larger than myself.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
There will be stress. It will be stressful. And I will tell you that it is stressful by design. So the question remains, when you start feeling stressed out, what are you going to do? Are you going to react or are you going to respond? I expect you to respond to the demands that are being placed upon you, pushing you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to grow, because that's why you're here. You're here to be transformed from what you were to what you need to be, to what your nation needs you to be. Each and every one of you will earn your place here. This will not be given to you. And as you earn your place here and head toward graduation day, having earned it, you will have a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. And it will be meaningful to you. And as you depart this place, you will be proud of what you've accomplished.
Good morning. I am Technical Sergeant William Lewis, military training instructor, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today's basic military training graduation is a celebration of the achievements of these graduates. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our military heritage. Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 240 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in February of 1778, facing an army of several thousand undisciplined, half-starved, wretched men in rags. To correct these conditions, he set to work immediately and wrote regulations designed to teach the discipline of drill to a model company of 120 selected men. Discipline became a part of the military for these individuals as they learned to respond to commands without hesitation. As they mastered the art of drill and began to work as a team, this group developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and in their unit. Watching this model company perform, observers were amazed to see how quickly and efficiently the troops could be massed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, members of this model company were assigned throughout the regular army to teach drill. It was through this simple emphasis on drill that the effectiveness and efficiency of Washington's Continental Army were improved. In 1789, Baron von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the regulations for the order and discipline of the troops of the United States. The drill procedures placed into effect at Valley Forge remained unchanged for over 85 years, and many of these same procedures are still in use today. One form of drill is the salute. Since early times, men-at-arms have used some form of salute as an exchange of greeting, the most popular of which has been the hand salute. This exchange has been preserved and its use continued in all modern militaries which inherit their traditions from the age of chivalry. Throughout today's ceremony, you will see the flights presenting arms as one form of the military salute. The civilian counterpart of the salute is manifested in various ways, such as placing the right hand over the heart when the national anthem is played, or raising the hand when greeting a friend. The military salute is given in the same manner as a gesture of recognition and a friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. To maintain the proper decorum and respects for events such as this, we ask that you abide by the following standards while you are here. First, there will be times you will be asked to stand for the invocation, the playing of the national anthem, the playing of the Air Force and Space Force songs, the reciting of the Oath of Enlistment, and the Airman's Creed. Second, we ask that you remain silent during these times, reflecting on the price that has been paid for our freedom. Third, we ask that you pay respect to the flag during the national anthem and as it passes during the review. Military members and veterans not in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. Civilians should stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the flags have passed, you may return your hand to your side. As flights pass in review, applause is appropriate, but please limit the applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During the oath, service members pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. At this time, please find a place to sit, thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, rendering a flying salute to our graduating airmen R2, T6 Texan 2s, call sign Pray 21 Flight. Pray 21 Flight is flown by Captain Sobchuk. Pray 22 is flown by Major Williams. These aircraft are from the 559th Flying Training Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Spencer.
Good morning. I invite you to pray with me. Gracious God, we thank you for making such a beautiful day, a day that comes with so many emotions and even more responsibility. As we stand before you today, God, we can't help but feel the power of the ground on which we stand. You have blessed so many of the nation's most influential airmen as they stood right here, and I have no doubt at this very moment you are molding and shaping the hearts of these warrior airmen for what lies ahead. Lord, in a few moments, each of these airmen will make the walk so many heroes have made. May each step on this bomb run grow the fire for competitive endurance as these newest warfighters will be asked to operate with a lethality mentality. May each step also fuel a desire to honor those brave souls who sacrificed to secure this land of freedom. Bless each and every family member and friend that stands with us today. You too are to be thanked for trusting us with your sons and daughters. Our gift back to you is the fact that the next time you look their airmen in the eyes, you will realize the timeless truth that well-led airmen will never let you down. In closing, I will leave you with a quote from the late, great Scott Hall. Hard work pays off. Dreams do come true. Tough times don't last, but tough airmen do. May the peace of God be with each of you, and welcome to the team. Aim high and amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to today's basic military training graduation ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host and the reviewing official for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Billy Wilson Jr., accompanied by his wife, Liza. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson. Also in attendance with us today, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant Joanne Bass, accompanied by the Department of the Air Force Civic Leaders. The Deputy Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel John Odell III. The Acting Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Whitney Rogers. The Commander, Delta 1, Colonel Peter Norsky, accompanied by his wife, Jessica. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Delta 1, Chief Master Sergeant Paul Norris. The Inspector General, Air National Guard, Colonel Thomas Rood, accompanied by his wife, Linda. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Today, we honor Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force 19, Joanne Bass, who is attending her last BMT graduation parade as the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Simsaf Bass is a 1993 graduate of basic military training and in her current position represents the highest enlisted level of leadership. She provides direction for the enlisted force and represents their interests as appropriate to the American public and to those in all levels of government. Simsaf serves as the personal advisor to the Secretary of the Air Force and the Air Force Chief of Staff on all issues regarding the welfare, readiness, morale, and proper utilization and progress of more than 600,000 total force airmen. Throughout her career, she has been awarded a number of Joint and Air Force decorations, to include the Legion of Merit, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, and the Meritorious Service Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters. Simsaf Bass, your selfless dedication, commitment, and service for the past 3.5 years will not be forgotten. Your contributions to the Air Force mission and to the development of the enlisted corps will have a lasting impact on our national defense. We salute you and wish you and your family the best in all your future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to today's ceremony, we would like to recognize our newest military training instructors. These instructors have undergone a rigorous 5-month training pathway comprised of formal academic classes and task qualification requirements. They have earned the distinct honor of donning the dark blue campaign hat.
Detail, halt!
From the 331st Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Roberto Villalobos, Jr. From the 331st Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Taylor Sartor. From the 331st Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Douglas Height. From the 321st Training Squadron, Staff Sergeant Joshua Raver. From the 321st Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Tanae Galindo. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Alejandro Aguilar. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Jacob Kime. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Donald Madsen. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Technical Sergeant Christian Cadavid. At this time, we ask all military training instructors, past and present, to stand in a sign of unity as our newest instructors recite the MTI pledge. The military training instructor hat that I wear
is a symbol of honor, professionalism, integrity, service, and excellence in all I do. My job is one of the most important to the Air Force, and I will spare no effort to properly prepare men and women for military service. I am dedicated to the principles of fairness, firmness, and honesty. I strive for perfection and reject mediocrity, both in my own personal behavior and in the performance of those I lead. I am an Air Force military training instructor, and above all, I am an American Airman. Present, halt! Hold up, halt! Post! Halt!
The dark blue campaign hat these instructors received today has been the symbol of the MTI Corps since 1974. These instructors will carry on the traditions and esprit de corps of the United States Air Force as they pass on their knowledge to our newest generation of airmen. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Benjamin Hall. Colonel Wilson will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. 737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence streamer is awarded to the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 198, for their significant accomplishments, demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 15 January 2024 to 29 February 2024. Signed, Billy Wilson Jr., Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellence flight was led by Technical Sergeant Douglas Height and Technical Sergeant Roger Shaw. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. The graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the enlisted heroes walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flags as they pass in review. Now passing in review from the 319th Training Squadron, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Benjamin Hall, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown Clearfield, Pennsylvania. From the 321st Training Squadron, the A Squadron staff, led by Technical Sergeant Andrew Stein, Military Training Instructor, hometown Eaton Rapids, Michigan. From the 331st Training Squadron, Flight 201, led by Technical Sergeant Jamie Chandler, Military Training Instructor, hometown El Paso, Texas. Flight 200, led by Master Sergeant Roberto Villalobos, Military Training Instructor, hometown Detroit, Michigan. Flight 199, led by Technical Sergeant Taylor Sartor, Military Training Instructor, hometown Teague, Texas. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 198, led by Technical Sergeant Douglas Height, Military Training Instructor, hometown Fort Mojave, Arizona. From the 324th Training Squadron, Flight 195, led by Technical Sergeant Sean Neary, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Pensacola, Florida. Flight 194, led by Technical Sergeant Dakota James, military training instructor, hometown Boise, Idaho. Flight 193, led by Technical Sergeant Luis Ogaz, military training instructor, hometown El Paso, Texas. Flight 192, led by Technical Sergeant Terrell Beasley, military training instructor, hometown Baltimore, Maryland. From the 1st Delta Operations Squadron, the Color Guard, led by Captain Kimberly Davenport, Director of Operations, hometown Cincinnati, Ohio. From the 321st Training Squadron, Flights 188 and 189, led by Technical Sergeant Tanae Galindo, military training instructor, hometown Portage, Pennsylvania. From the 324 Training Squadron, the B Squadron staff, led by Staff Sergeant Kenneth Trivet, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown Tucson, Arizona. From the 322nd Training Squadron, Flight 191, led by Technical Sergeant Alejandro Aguiar, Military Training Instructor, hometown Long Beach, California. Flight 190, led by Master Sergeant Donald Madsen, military training instructor, hometown Las Vegas, Nevada. From the 320th Training Squadron, Flight 187, led by Staff Sergeant Samantha Erasmus, military training instructor, hometown Wallingford, Connecticut. Flight 186, led by Staff Sergeant William Woodside, military training instructor, hometown Jacksonville, Florida. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 185, led by Technical Sergeant Joshua De Benedetto, military training instructor, hometown Claremont, New Hampshire. From the 1st Delta Operations Squadron, Flight 197, led by Technical Sergeant Tyler Strauser, military training instructor, hometown Falcon, Colorado. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 196, led by Technical Sergeant Crisella Mariano, military training instructor trainer, hometown San Jose, California. Traditionally, the armed forces are expected to exemplify respect for the nation. Special ceremonies have been established to bestow honor upon the flag and other national symbols, upon recipients of awards and decorations, and upon national dignitaries. Such ceremonies are usually included in parades, reviews, and similar formations in which large groups of military personnel participate. On special occasions in basic military training, the military training instructor is assembled in mass formation as a sign of recognition and respect. It is the highest honor the MTI Corps can bestow upon an individual. Today's MTI Mass has been formed to honor Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force 19, Joanne Bass. Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the reviewing stand is the backbone of the basic military training mission, the military training instructors. These men and women are being led by basic military training senior enlisted leaders, and the mass commander is Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson, senior enlisted leader, 737 Training Group, hometown Belmont, New Hampshire.
Squadron! Halt!
Simsaf Bass, in recognition of your contributions to the United States Air Force, we salute you and thank you for your outstanding leadership and dedication to all airmen. We wish you and your family the best in your future endeavors and remind you that you will always be a part of the Air Force family. It has been an honor to serve with you, and we bid you a fond farewell.
Order! Halt! Left! Case! The white torch. Forward! Halt!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the United States Air Force and Space Force songs. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by airmen from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Technical Sergeant Matthew Zettelmeyer, military training instructor, hometown Augusta, Georgia. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic military training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force core value, service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all of the families and friends who are here in support of those graduating today. Your words of encouragement have helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Bass will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Test. Good morning, BMT. Oh, y'all don't sound excited to be here. Good morning, BMT. It is a great day to be a United States Airman, because we have 775 airmen and guardians graduating basic training today. Y'all give a big hand clap to this group of folks. So to our airmen and guardians, there I was, 31 years ago in your shoes, signing up to join the world's greatest Air Force because my dad wasn't going to pay for college. How many parents out there said, I'm not paying for college? And I thought I would do 4 quick years, get a GI Bill, and figure out life. And at the 4-year mark, I only re-enlisted. Can I be real, y'all? Because I had a Honda Civic to pay off. And it was about the 8-year mark where I really learned what it meant to wear our nation's cloth and to be a United States Airman. And so I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you here today. As 775 of you walked across this bomb run, you are starting your first day of the rest of your life. And so if I can just ask you three things. I'm going to ask you three things, and I hope you can remember them because I made them pretty easy. As you spent the last 7 weeks here at BMT, I have three things to make you think about BMT. And the first thing I'm going to ask each and every one of you is to be, for BMT, be your best. You are now part of a winning team. In the Department of the Air Force, whether you're serving in our Air and Space Force, you are a part of a winning team. When I joined our Air Force 31 years ago, we had three primary warfighting domains: air, land, and sea. In this day and age that you raised your hands and said, I want to serve in the Air or Space Force, we are serving in a day and era where we've got to be good on this winning team in air, land, sea, space, cyber, and information. And the only way we're going to be able to keep winning on that team is if you're your best. The second thing I'm going to ask of each and every one of you is to move the ball, to make an impact. As your Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, I actually don't care if you serve 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, or 28 years. What I ask you to do is to make our Air Force better. What I ask you to do is make our Space Force better, to make your career field better. And then I ask you to go back to your hometown when you take this uniform off and make your hometown and communities better. For the T part, I'm going to ask you to take care of one another. Your family and friends out here are part of your blood family, and you're tight with your blood family. But you are now part of this Air Force family. You are wingmen and teammates to your blue family. So I'm going to ask you to take care of each other. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, to our loved ones, how many of you could not be more excited to be here celebrating your airman or your guardian? I'm going to ask you to capture this moment. How many of y'all can't believe they graduated? I need you to capture this moment. You can pull out your phone now. You can pull out your phone later today. I want you to capture this moment and share it with the rest of the world that your airman and your guardian is now part of a winning team, and anybody else who wants to join this winning team belongs in this Air Force. So I want you to hashtag you belong, hashtag aim high, hashtag air power, for our wingmen, our airmen, our guardians. I have just one quick question to ask you. Are you ready to join the world's best air and space force? Colonel Wilson, I think they're ready. Awesome.
Thank you, SimSAF Bass. Please stand as Colonel Wilson will now administer the oath of enlistment. Instructors, place your flights at attention.
Now raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States,
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Outstanding. Welcome to the family.
Thank you, Colonel Wilson. Please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to hide, fight, and obey. I am faithful to our proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman. Leader, warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail.
As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flags pass. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all of our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass.